Thank you. So now we are at the valedictory session, the last day of the second day of IndieComs. We are glad and privileged to have the presence of our special guest for the evening, Mr. Roshan Abbasji, President EEMA and CEO Geometry Encompass. Glad and honored to have you over here. So just to give you a brief, it has been 2 days huge journey, two big events which we concluded, and we had a participation of almost 42 experts from the media, entertainment, and communication industry. Lots of brainstorming and deliberation happened on what was the media and entertainment earlier, what is it now, and how it is going to be post-pandemic. So a good blend of interesting facts, figures, ideologies, and thoughts came into from different sectors. Let it be the regional media, the journalism sector, entertainment sector, even the academicians. They gave a very good thought process. We started the day today. We started with Dr. Bhaskar Das. He presented us with the welcome note. Then we had a series of panel discussion. You also, I guess, in the back end understood the expertise panel of the tech industry people. Now we have an opportunity and honor to have you on this forum. To introduce our special guest for the day, Mr. Roshan Abbas. He's the President EEMA, E-Events and Physical Events, is one of the India's finest orators and storytellers. He's an actor, TV and radio host, producer, event manager, creative director, film and theater director, lyricist, CEO, angel investor, serial entrepreneur, author, public speaking coach. Mr. Abbas is a successful media entrepreneur as well. He founded and led Encompass, now Geometry Encompass as managing director, into becoming India's largest, most awarded experiential marketing agency. He was also an initial investor and continues to be a mentor partner at The Glitch. Both ventures have been acquired by WPP. He has won 7 national level awards for TV and radio. It is an absolute honor to have you, Roshanji, for this valedictory note. So can I please have the honors and pass on the virtual mic to you, Roshan sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anand. I'm delighted to be here, and it was so lovely that I could actually catch a little bit of the session before, because there were such great comments and everybody was giving such good insights. Unni is a very old friend of mine, and to hear him was incredible. And when he talked about rosebud.ai, I was immediately looking at the site to see what's happening. This, I think, is so amazing that this what used to happen at conferences, where we would travel and spend hours to get there, check into a hotel, go into a room, get into a hall, and then meet with people, now happens on a daily basis in this manner. And productivity, I think, has really gone up. The important part is that, you've got to look on what's happened right now from two sides of the coin. I know that Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary, who's a very dear friend of mine, had told me to speak about events, experiential job opportunities. I thought I will take 15 minutes to give you all a quick overview of what all I have experienced in this last 1 year and what I believe it's leading to. When I was doing one of my initial webinars in April, I started doing a workshop to train people in podcasting. And when I was doing that, I suddenly had a message on my Instagram saying, why am I not being able to register? And I really didn't know what it was. And when I looked, this person was from the Netherlands. The first big realization of virtual events or virtual conferences or this entire virtual world is that there is nothing called geography anymore. There is nothing called a border anymore. And therefore, geography is now history. So when you're planning to do anything, remember that your audience could join from anywhere. If in India, you want to do a great conference which has got international speakers, either you've got to do it at 8 a.m. in the morning when you won't have an Indian audience, or preferably you could do it through the day, but most people bring their international speakers in the evening because they realize that the time difference is working. So conference planning is going to change entirely, because now that we have got used to having the best speakers with us, and these speakers are very happy to play armchair philosophers, just like I am right now sitting in a room in my house, everyone is accessible. So planning of events will will require many more areas of thought. Who will join at what time, what audience, how many people is going to be a very important thing. People are joining from anywhere, anytime, and therefore everyone who was so far just relying on maybe somebody coming to your conference and physically registering has got to think of frictionless ways of audiences coming in. There are three things that will accelerate the world. This is what somebody had said some time back, saying bandwidth, smartphones, and frictionless payment. And we have to start looking at that overall. Coming to the arts has really struggled because most art is based in the collective joy of gathering together. I mean, we celebrate the people gathering together, whether it's in a theater, whether it's in a cinema hall, whether it's in a stadium, whether it's in a conference. And there is a serendipity to meeting people in a conference who you don't know. It is that one person you suddenly bump into in the corridor. It's the one person that you suddenly find who comes and asks you the question. And that is how you make serendipitous connections. And this is such a difference that happens, that people have to constantly keep looking at new ways of creating that serendipity. I don't think technology has reached there so far. Nowadays, we do breakout rooms and sometimes you meet up with someone, but it's not the same as a physical event. So the arts is going through its toughest time. Many arts places have closed down. Many of them do not know where to go from here. But the whole issue is that everybody is also trying to innovate. I came across a wonderful thing that happened last year, where an island which was into tourism had a person who put a rig on their body, and you could control that rig from a website. That person was almost wearing a GoPro rig and traveling, and therefore that person's eyes were your eyes. So imagine tourism of this nature. Imagine a person who is immobile and cannot move and sitting at home being able to get someone else to be their eyes and travel the world for them. So every experience will throw up an alternate reality, a challenge, and somebody smart will come up with a solution. Um, Arts is still having its toughest time. And I say this because art seems to be very low on people's radar. Does it generate enough revenue? Does it generate enough jobs? But Sona Mahapatra, who's a good friend of mine and a musician, the other day was talking to me and said, Roshan, the total amount of hormones in our body, all the hormones, the things that we talk about, cortisol, and we talk about, endorphin, and the fact that people react because of these hormones. She said the total amount of the hormones in our bottle is maybe in our body is maybe just a spoon, but the power of that spoonful controls all your emotions. So the size of what is done in the arts or in the media should not be looked on how to measure it. I do think the arts needs to be looked on differently as a sector. Sports for a while, at least till September, October this year, will continue to play to empty stadiums, but the cheers will be heard at home. So when online Hotstar, etc., started showing you IPL on your mobile phone, the entire idea was that, oh my God, I can't watch it in the stadium. I can't watch it in TV. I'm walking to my friend's house, going to dinner, but I still want to be in the game. And that's what mobile technology did. But this experience of being able to be in the game from home is something that people will also make technology come in. I've heard of chairs that are being created that can be sent to your house, which will have speakers and surround around you so you can hear the cheers of everybody sitting around you. And maybe you could plug in many other people and hear their voices. If you see with Netflix and many other things, there is something called a watch party. So the watch party is nothing but a technology where 20 people could be watching the same film at the same time, but they are together on a chat. And this is now becoming an audio chat where they will keep commenting on what's going on. So people are replicating the human experience that used to happen in person. Hitu Chawla, the head of Microsoft, the marketing head of India, said in a LinkedIn post the other day that live events were theater. Virtual events are broadcast television. And this is where the big opportunity for talent lies. Talent today cannot be looked on the way it used to be looked at before, because we will now require something called digital live experience planners. This is not a skill set that is currently available. This is a skill set that will evolve. This will be about engaging people across a screen. This will be about gamifying these experiences. And I know we hear these words very often, but these words now mean a lot more. There are jobs for designers, for virtual designers, for gamified designers. All of these are things that we will need. Cinema is going through its toughest time. Do you really want to go to a hall? Do you want to spend that much time finding a parking, going into a cinema hall, sitting next to a person who's on their mobile phone and you can't even get them off? In the last 1 year, we've got used to pausing a film, going and cooking food, coming back, having a drink, chatting with our friends, getting on the phone and catching up with the film again. And which is why Steven Spielberg and George Lucas in a conversation said that intimate cinema, the cinema of emotions, will play on your phone. The cinema of spectacle is what you will go only to see in a cinema hall. You will go to see the Marvel film. You will go to see the superhero film. You will go to see the war spectacle. And that is why Indian cinema's future is going to be decided by the fate of three films. Radhe, Suryavanshi, and 83 will decide whether people are going back to the cinema hall. These are all blockbusters. The first has got Salman Khan, the second has got Akshay Kumar, the third is the story of India's 83 World Cup victory. But if these blockbusters cannot get the fear of going into a cinema hall or the pain of going into a cinema hall out of people, I personally feel that cinema is going to experience its worst time, because the OTT has taken over. It's giving you everything that you need. It's giving you spectacle, it's giving you emotion, it's giving you sleaze, it's giving you whatever you want, whatever you are looking for. I think "you are on mute" is going to become the phrase of 2020 and 2021. I often, when I'm on chats with people, hear this line saying, "Am I audible?" And I say, "No, I'm Spotify," because these are the kind of conversations that happen. Also, education will be eventified. Education. I this morning was doing a parent-teacher meeting with my daughter's teachers. 9 teachers in 1 hour, 5-minute slots online. And I'll tell you what, I developed a dislike for her teachers depending on how good they were as communicators. So someone asked before this saying, what's communication as a skill? Communication and storytelling is going to be one of the biggest skills, because only those people, this is a digital fireplace. हम लोग पहले आग के चारों तरफ बैठ के, हमारे पूर्वज जो थे, our ancestors used to sit around a fire and tell stories to each other. We now sit around a digital fire, which is the screen, and we will tell stories to each other. And only the most engaging, only the most communicative people will be able to do this. I think everybody has to start running courses in virtual engagement. That is something I'm personally very, very passionate about, and I'm doing it as well. I keep doing a whole bunch of workshops. MOOCs, the era of MOOCs is dead. So the multiple online courses is dead because they just had zero engagement. And while they saw an upswing in the beginning of pandemic, because people had nothing else to do, everybody is now talking about cohort learning. Cohort learning is where there'll be a small group of people, but they will all interact, they will all work together, they will have almost a little collaboration. So collaboration tools in education, cohort-based learning tools in education are going to be very, very important. The one big thing that I've seen happen is audio. We have spent so much time on screens that we want to shut our eyes and we want to listen. And which is why streaming has risen. I don't think I'm a little bit contrarian about radio, because yes, radio was more a medium, which was a background medium, but Clubhouse has suddenly come up, and Clubhouse is becoming so big. They already have, if I'm not mistaken, 10 million users now. They have $1 billion valuation. This is a company that didn't exist a year and a half ago. So look at the speed at which things are happening. Clubhouse has become the place where you go to listen. Strangers be nice to strangers. Again, I heard this today as a quote, and I put it up on my Instagram, where someone said, it's just so nice to go to a platform where people are not yelling, people are not shouting, people are helping each other. There are strangers talking to strangers. There are celebrities. Elon Musk comes in suddenly and Kunal Shah will listen to him like a fan and tweet about that. These are the experiences that are going on. So engaging audio is a big thing. While everybody keeps talking about podcasting, podcasting is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Don't get into it because you suddenly want to hear your own voice. 85% of podcasts are only heard by under 50 people. So while there are millions of podcasts, 85% of them are not heard by people. So do not get mistaken into believing that your own voice sounds great. Um, Social events in India are going to continue to grow. Wedding industry has really only seen a pause, not a dip. All my friends in the event industry, I'm the president of the event association, and I can tell you I'm so happy to see that the wedding industry is just going onwards majorly. There's wonderful things happening there. So if you want to be in the event business, social events is possibly what's going to be, it's the fastest to come back. I'm told that there are dates in May where hotel rates, which used to be 30,000 rupees, have gone up to 1 lakh rupees a room. That's what's happening with hotels because they have to recover the money they lost last year. So I don't blame them, but this is something that's happening. The fact that a lot of what we are doing online will lead also to another space where there's a big debate going on right now. Right now, there is a big question going on about what are rights. Right now, if you played a piece of music, do you need to pay thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees? So there is a big debate about rights, about IP that is going on. Everybody's talking about that. Um, at the beginning of the pandemic, I had also told people about how Scott Travis was a person a DJ, who came into a video game called Fortnite and had 15 million people tuning in. In a video game, there was a concert going on. So don't think about the physical arena only. You could do the virtual arena with $1. Imagine if somebody had offered that experience at $1, they would have been $15 million richer. So people have to really think of these things very different. VR events, I did my first virtual reality event about a month back for a brand. And I cannot tell you, it was such a joy to see that people were now suddenly sending VR headsets to clients and saying, watch my event on a VR headset. Now, suddenly imagine a company that invests in giving 10,000 VR headsets and selling it to people just like we are selling a Geo connection. Kishto mein le lijiye, and you can keep watching VR things through the year. So people have to come up with really innovative business models. I also believe that virtual technology is in its Web 1.0 phase. This is clunky technology. So when Zoom started, when Insider did its platform, when I go on to Hubilo and many other things, AirMeet, etc., Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, all of these things, I get very frustrated because as a creator, I'm like, why can't I change the screen? Why can't I make it HD? Why can't I bring in video? But if you remember, at the beginning of the pandemic, we were not able to play videos on the screen. At the beginning of the pandemic, we were not getting HD resolution. But this is like Web 1.0. It's clunky, but it will continue to evolve. Zoom is already profitable, and the money they have, they will invest in making this technology even better. So will all its competitors. So will Microsoft. Somebody's talking about security. Somebody's talking about interactivity. Somebody's talking about tools. There are already tools by which you have a virtual background. You could actually bring emojis in. You could have people flying around your screen. All of this is happening. So this is honestly virtual 1.0, virtual 2.0, virtual 3.0 will be a lot better. There is an Indian company, and I mean, I think it is Hubilo, which has got funded, and they are doing really, really well. And I think again, innovation from India has to come. Who's making the Hindi version of this? Earlier, somebody was talking about Hindi versions, about Chingari, about Takatak, about all of these other platforms. But this is the time for us to create. The online audience is being divided into two. Youngsters want 10 things happening on the screen at the same time. If it's not, they find it boring. Older audiences do not want 10 things happening on the screen at the same time. They want one pristine experience. So there will be the curated content experience and there will be the highly interactive experience. They will both happen. Hybrid events will be the future. The next time you do this conference, you will have 200 people who can pay 25,000 rupees who will attend because they're getting the best experience. And there'll be 20,000 people who will pay 200 rupees but watch it virtually. And this is how we are creating two economies. So when people will be designing stages, when people will be designing events, they will be doing all of that, keeping both audiences in mind, which is why I go back to the point that Hitu had made, which I talk to about everyone. Virtual events are broadcast television, physical events are theater. So you've got to continue thinking along those lines. The one thing that happened in our industry was many people suffered losses. They could not handle it. They have had to shut down. They have had to cut salaries. And this has led to a large workforce in the waiting. There are many people who are sitting at home without work, but will they come back to the agencies or will they set up briefcase agencies is what I keep thinking about, because there will be the two-member team, the nimble event company that will come up. And I've seen this already happen. I've already seen one person who's good at design, one person who's good at getting artists, etc., coming together and doing things. So these are some of the things that are happening currently. um, Everything will happen. All things in life will be virtual, but ultimately we are human beings. And so my faith in the resurgence of, just like revenge tourism, revenge events when people get vaccinated. So in the UK, they are saying that in summer, they will be back to the events because everybody there will be vaccinated. Um, in the US, they are saying that by May, again, also that they will have most people vaccinated. The vaccine is going to possibly be the one savior. I don't know whether events will have tickets with vaccines already saying the event is 2 months later, the vaccine comes for free. Because this will happen. I mean, we are a nation which will keep thinking of all kinds of jugaad. We always do. Uh, but I really feel that the power of proximity, the power of you and me being in the same room, and after this, me asking you, what do you like in your chai, and go and making that cup of tea for you and having that conversation. While this is there, the joy of a physical touch, the hug, the back slap, the handshake can never be taken away. We are human beings. We were brought onto this earth, and our only job, this fight or flight syndrome, our only job was survival of the species. Let's connect, let's procreate, create the next generation. Connect, procreate, make the next generation. So the physical connection can never go away. I've started stepping out over the last 2 months, gingerly at first, and now I do it almost every week. I try to take every precaution, as must you. So for the next 6 months, number one, please don't drop your guard. And that's the last thing I want to tell you. Don't drop your guard. Please maintain safe distancing, keep wearing a mask, keep sanitizing, and then you can still lead a life. You can lead a careful life rather than a carefree life. And in that, you can enjoy restaurants, you can enjoy music, you can enjoy socially distanced events. My last thing to tell you is that the Event Management Association has come out with safety protocols that are on our website, which is EMA India. Please go, if you haven't, download them, keep them for your local events, keep them for your community events, use them. The government, we are reaching out to try and make event life a lot easier. The government is going to invest a lot of money, so the event business will have resurgence again, like all businesses. But I hope that all these points give you some idea of the future that awaits us. All the best to everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful year ahead. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Roshan Abbasji. It has been a wonderful and delightful talk. I was so much enjoying every sentence, every word of you. We being into the same community business, I was imagining visually ki, the doors of hotels are on. We have a glamorous stage, and so absolutely exchanging cards, having that stage experience, and being a speaker on screen and being a speaker in front of that awful audience on stage is very different experience altogether.
Absolutely.
So even the schools, when the first session of a school is the assembly, when there is a ground, there is a stage, student goes, there are teachers, principal greeting each other, doing some vandana, doing some exercises. So definitely, so that physical touch is definitely missing. Joy of physical touch is missing. Connect, co-create, create next generation. Fantastically put, sir. Storytelling is and communication is the need of ours. This is going to be the buzz points. And thankful that I'm glad that you are into the same industry and doing the work which you are passionate about. So that is one thing. The person who is passionate about that work, and if he's making his bread and butter in that industry, what best can imagine because of it, sir. Cohort base. That was something new for me today. Thanks for sharing those information, sir. For as a learning tool, you gave many examples like clubhouses and all. So the audience today is from the industry. They are the students also. They are the professors and lecturers also. So this insightful talk which came from you would be benefiting all the audience over here. Will be those who have left this meeting now. We'll be sharing the recorded version and we'll be promoting it on the social media handles and the SMX network portal. We are also having a YouTube channel. So we ensure you that this talk goes and reaches out to all the stakeholders, which can definitely help in making some impact in their businesses, what they are into. It was an absolute delight, Roshan Abbas sir, to hear this engaging and wonderful talk. It has been a wonderful delight, in fact, to witness this engaging and wonderful deliberation for throughout these 2 days. The curator for this program, Ujjwal Chaudhary ji, is not here as of now. He has an emergency meet. He said he's sorry to you because of which he could not attend. I would like to also highlight that our chairman, Gopala Krishnan, Mr. GR, and our managing director, Rahul Jain ji, they have passed on their heartful thanks to you. They could also not be in this part of this event as due to their commitment. But definitely, sir, this was in fact a very niche event which we did, and our chairman, Mr. GR, he used to say Jai Kisan, and Jai Jawan. He also added Jai Media to this event, and he opened his ceremony and this talk with that thing. So he was very passionate that we are into this industry and we are making a right impact with bringing the right people from this community, that nothing is going wrong. We are on the right track, and we have to be very hopeful, very thoughtful, and keep adopting the change. We have to be, because this is the journey ahead. The new normal is to be, you will be staying for long, and we have to follow the safety measures, sir, which you also told in your last sentences. We have to follow those safety measures. And to the audience over here, we hope that you all enjoyed this session. This was a learned session, valuable sessions, and from all the eminent speakers. We truly appreciate your time with us. Thank you so much, our partners, for supporting us in our cause and mission. That gives us motivation and energy to organize such stuffs and events in days to come. I request all the attendees to fill the feedback form. We have just flashed those feedback form in this chat box. Kindly fill that form so that it helps us understand the learning outcomes and how this event was helpful to you. We are in the era of disruption. So the overall outcome of this is that we are very hopeful in whatever direction the media, entertainment, and communication industry is going. So let's embrace the technology, be innovative, and keep scaling. And we have to be, a multidisciplinary folds. We have to keep learning so many actions apart from our core work also. And to all the audience, all the listeners, our speakers, kindly follow our social media handles, SMX Network, for the latest update news in media and entertainment sector. And sincere thanks to Professor Ujjwal sir. It was possible because of your guidance and mentorship. We look forward for your patronage in days to come. And thanks to ADAMAS team, Momita Das ji, Professor Nitesh, Dr. Sunil Bhattacharya ji, for your support, coordination, and great content which you provided us. To all other faculty members and the students who were with us from last 2 days, and to the audience and listeners. And yes, to the InnoServe and SMX network team, special thanks to Ashish, who has been leading this project. Many thanks to Rupal. You have been doing a brilliant work last couple of days. Thanks to Rahul Dase for your entire coordination work, to Sudha for leading the content team, Abhilash for leading the design team, Syed, Varsha, and the entire team who are directly, indirectly involved in this project. My sincere thanks to you. Congratulations to all of you. Stay safe, stay tuned. Namaste, everybody.